So this construction is the one I did on Monday, where we made the perpendicular bisectors of all three sides, and then I put a circle around it. So to circumscribe means put something around it. Inscribe means inside. So you just start off with a given triangle. And the very first thing we got to do is construct the perpendicular bisectors of two sides. Label the intersection X. This one is the easier one, the next one's the harder one. Now, do you know why you only got to do two sides?
Because you don't need to do three, because two of them can just...
Because all three of them will intersect at the same spot, so you only need to do two, because the third one will intersect there too. So, we've already done this construction, that's why we can just write construct the perpendicular bisectors. It was one of the first ones we did. We'll do the bottom one, that's usually the easiest. So to make a perpendicular bisector, you just open your compass up, it's got to just be more than half, and you make a mark. Now these constructions, if you do have an eraser, it's nice to have because you get so many marks, but you don't need to. You might want to make light marks. So you make a mark above it and below it, and then you go to the other end point and make the same marks. So you got two little X's that you can connect.
Does the point have to be on the middle of the bottom side triangle? Like, you know, you put a little sharp point, where does that have to be?
It goes from each end. So you put it on the end, you make a mark here and here, keep it the same, slide over to the other end point, make it there and there. And then you just draw the line.
Not really.
Wait, no, you say it's the same. Wait, do you keep it at the same?
Mine isn't straight.
Yeah, mine won't line up.
What won't line up?
Mine isn't like straight.
Like the end point.
I did, but mine didn't.
Or I won't
Okay,
get
what
it.
did I do?
Alright.
Well, because you gotta make it bigger.
Oh,
Okay, Connor. You can't handle it yourself.
You might wanna make it a little more because it looks pretty
That's what I did the same. Okay, now it is.
So, do you,
Yeah, you did it right there. You did it right. Just start from A and make a mark here and here, and then keep it the same. You can, but you don't have, yeah, it can be anything. Now, you just put the end, you put your pointy part on A, make a mark above and below, keep it the same, slide over to C, make a mark above and below, so they cross. If they don't cross, you just gotta go back and make your lines longer, so they do cross. And then you draw your line in there, and you have to label it. We have to show that it's perpendicular, so put the square in there, and show that it's bisected. So put a mark there and a mark there to show that these are equal lengths. Okay? So yours should look just like this with all the marks in there right now. With the square and the
then
two.
we just draw a line down the middle.
We labeled it X.
We gotta draw the other one first, because the intersection is where they're gonna both intersect.
Yeah. And then we put the little point.
It should be close to mine.
Mine's like exactly.
Yeah, mine's
just about
Yeah.
for lunch?
Oh, that's just because you're trying to go. You should use a ruler though, for making straight lines.
Mine's.
Does it matter one side before the perpendicular marker?
No, you can put the 90 on the right or the left, that doesn't matter.
Mine's 1.
So, once you have that, now we have to do two sides, so it's up to you which side you want to do. Sometimes people like to turn their paper, so this is on the bottom. If you want to do that, that's fine. So you just do the same thing. I'm going to do A, B, it doesn't matter what side you do, but you do the same thing. You put the pointy part on A, make a mark on either side of the line. And then keep it the same, you go up to B, and you make the same arc so they intersect.
Right.
So then I have two intersections, and this is why you wanna make maybe
Do
light
we have to
lines.
keep it the same as the other ones?
No, because it's a different line. You can if you want though.
Oh, I see.
So, then you gotta connect those two to get another perpendicular bisector.
So we just go from A and do the same thing?
Do the same exact thing as you did on A and C.
So you do B and A,
Yeah, you could do B and C if you wanted to.
and it's just 1,
Yep.
5.
So you go from A, you make a mark on each side of the line, there and there. You go from B, you gotta keep your compass the same, make a mark there and there.
Does it have to be in two specific places like above and below, or because?
Well, they have to be so they intersect. You wanna find, you don't wanna put your line way over here, because that's not where the line's gonna be. You wanna get it about in the middle, because that's where they'll intersect.
You gotta do the right thing.
Yep, and then you gotta put in the 90. And then you gotta show that this is bisected, so put 2 marks there and 2 marks there. There we get the intersection that we label X.
So we don't have to do.
Yep, we don't have to do BC because we already know it would go through there.
Yeah, okay.
Uh-oh.
How many constructions are we doing?
2.
Yeah, mine's go intersect.
Then you got a problem.
Yeah. Do you know why they didn't intersect? Because you didn't open it big enough, right? It's gotta be over halfway or else they won't intersect. Okay, so then the second one is an easy step. With vertex X, that, remember that's the pointy part of your compass. Open the compass to A, or you could do B or C, it doesn't matter. And then make a circle.
What do you mean open to A?
Open it up to A.
You betcha.
So you just, it doesn't have to be A, it could go to any one of the vertices, A, B, or C. And then you can see how good you are if your circle touches all 3. Mine is off.
Mine
Oops,
blew.
I moved.
Mine keeps on moving.
My mind got blown every single way.
So I'm off a little bit on B and A, but
I got it.
this compass doesn't work very good.
So.
But it's spot on.
Look at mine.
Yeah, you gotta show that it's 90,
That's mint.
and you gotta show that it's bisected. So then you gotta show this is 90,
You talk about crap all the time.
and then label that X. So, what this,
Mine is really close.
is it close?
It's
Right
only
on.
a little off on.
Mine's like right.
So this construction proves what you need to know about perpendicular bisectors. It finds the point of concurrency, quiet, which is called the circumcenter. You need to know the names of these too, because there's like 4, 5 different things you need to know that we haven't learned yet. And that point is equidistant from all 3 vertices, because if you measure from X to B, X to C, and X to A, they're all the same distance away. Okay? So everyone got this one? Can I erase?
Yep.
The next one is the harder one to do. It's not hard to do, well, it's a little harder, but it's hard to get it nice. In all the years we've done these, there's probably only been 4 or 5 that have come out perfect of students that have done them. So the next one we're gonna do is inscribe. This construction 8.
Alright, Connor, it's time to go. It's time to go.
A circle inside a triangle.
You get 'em from me?
Get out of here, kid. First person I was fun to was you. I can see you doing stuff.
To you?
Yeah.
I could do it, I would do it with better reason.
Smells like fries and all.
Alright,
Let's go grab the fries.
you write about the Bible verse.
Felix?
Walls.
Jeez. I am definitely bringing my house. You gotta bring children with some. Please. Don't have it. No. Hey, Rich. Oh, Rich. Rich like you.
I am. So all I do is drink beer and kill deer.
Okay, so again, we only need to do 2 angle bisectors to find the intersection, because the third one is gonna intersect at the same spot, so you don't need to draw that in. So angle bisectors, that was one of the first constructions we did, so we don't need to write how to do it. To make an angle bisector, I'll just start from A. You put the point on A, and then you make an arc through each side. You can make it all the way through, but again, the cleaner you keep it, the easier it's gonna be able to see where you've been.
Whoa.
Because otherwise they get so full of marks, you can't remember what to connect and all that. So, you find 2 spots there, and then you just come up to them and make a arc there and an arc there to find an intersection, and then you connect that to A.
Oh,
What the heck? How did you do it on
oh.
I don't, how did you do this?
And then you have to mark that this is an angle bisector, so you put an arc there.
Do you
and an
keep the
arc there.
compass the same when you're making that? Or
You can.
do you have to?
You don't
Mine
have to.
me, so I don't know. So I like made my marks.
You have to better say this is up. See, the line's gonna come like this, so you gotta have your marks on here somewhere. So the angle bisectors, you gotta start on the corner. This is an awfully small, you might wanna make a bigger triangle. You don't want a real small triangle on these because it's gonna get too hard to work with them.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So you go
Mine still worked pretty
from
good.
A, you make a mark there and there, and then you just come up to this mark and make a mark, this mark, make a mark, and then connect. Then you gotta do it to another angle. Do the same thing to whichever angle you want, A, B, or C.
Probably not, because they're all. Wait, do we do the same length so then they all make
It can be, it doesn't have to be. When you do your other angle, bisector, you don't have to keep them the same lengths. You just gotta make any arc that's the same distance away from the vertex. They could be here, 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 it can be anywhere, as long as it's the same distance on each side. And then you just go to those marks and make a mark inside. And then go to the other one, make the same distance, and again, you could move it, but you gotta keep it the same from each spot.
After we do that, do we just connect them again?
And then you just connect that to C, yep.
And then you put the thingy and then you do a circle?
No, there's a little more to this than just doing the circle.
I really wanted to do that.
So you gotta make a mark there,
Draw like a cat.
can be, and then you go there,
Some cat lays
and there. Then you just connect that to that.
Okay, and then you do the same
Yep.
like that one.
Well,
Yep. So there's a little more, there's one more step to this, than, the last one we did. So when you make, again, you gotta label that this is bisected, so you gotta put 2 arcs there and 2 arcs there. And label the intersection X. And what you could do is if you connected X to B, that would bisect that angle because we know that this line will go through that also. But we don't have to.
I did this completely.
So, now, before we can draw the circle, we need to know where the compass should open up to. So what we need to do is construct a perpendicular from X to line AC. And then we'll label the intersection Y. So again, this is a construction that we did before, I don't remember which one, but we made a construction, it was construct a perpendicular from a point not on a line to a line. The reason why is you could get close. I know my vertex has to go on X, but I don't know where to open it up to. Exactly. So what you gotta do is draw a 90. You could do it to any one of the sides, it doesn't matter. And then where it crosses, that's where you open your compass up to.
How do we draw it?
So, the way you do this now, everyone got it ready?
Yeah.
Is from X, I gotta make 2 arcs through line AC. One there, and then keep it the same, make one there. So all you do is find two spots that are the same distance from X. Then you just slide down and make, again, you want your compass a little bit open, so you make a mark from this one that I made, and then slide over to here. Make another one, so you get an intersection here. So you gotta make an arc here and here, that's the same distance away from X, and then down here, that's the same distance from these 2 points. Then you just connect X to that point.
Yeah.
And then just draw in that it's a 90. Yep. And then label that intersection Y.
That's it?
Nope.
Alright, Connor.
Oh, so the angle bisector.
No.
You just make a mark on each side, and then slide over to those.
Jordan, what slide?
Like since you do English.
It's the playground counter.
Why are you talking about the playground in the film?
So then once you have that, the last step is with your vertex at X, open it up to Y, and then make a circle. And if you're really good with the compass, it should just barely touch all 3 sides. This is the one, like I said, that of all the years we've done these, this is the hardest one to get.
And I
The
will
circle.
master this problem.
So you can see mine is a pretty decent a ways away there and a little bit of ways there, so.
Mine's about 18 inches bigger than my triangle.
I think you did it wrong. My circle really is circle. Oh, darn.
Well, your circle,
Mine doesn't even close that far.
Y
Wait,
is
Jordan,
right
what do
there.
we have to do?
That's where it intersects right there.
Whoa.
So the circle is in there.
So many markings, I don't even.
Yeah, that's where it intersects the side, is right there.
Mine doesn't even close. Is there a way to fix that? Is there a deal?
Yeah, I hadn't noticed those,
Maybe we'll get.
here, no, I'll pull it up.
You do the same thing.
There's some in the middle, so it stops me from closing all the way like that.
What are we gonna do with these at the end?
Hand them in.
Wait, what are you supposed to do? Where the crosses are.
They count for like,
Yeah.
Or like, yeah,
Copy all this down sometimes. Like a trim in this, I hate it with construction.